What's up, guys? So I did a video where I was talking about a deal that I pretty much blew up. It was a 56K deal. But let's talk about a deal that I ended up closing for 15K. This was a regular assignment deal. It was out in Pensacola, Florida. It was a probate slash tax lien lead. So basically, a man inherited the property from his parents that passed, and he was living in the property, and he couldn't keep up with the taxes, and eventually the taxes got backed up, and so he had to sell the property. And he put in a Facebook form, because like I told you guys in the last video, that's pretty much the only way I'm marketing is Facebook ads and pretty much word of mouth. I'm not doing any cold calling, any cold texting. That's pretty much old school. I'm not knocking anybody that's doing that, because that's built me up to where I am today, cold calling and texting. So I'm not knocking anybody that does it, but you just gotta adjust to the new times too. Like new things change in this business pretty quickly. So yeah, Facebook ads. I remember the lead coming in, and I remember I start off with a text. And basically, I say, my name is Don. This text message is automated. I'm looking to give you an offer on your property. And I type out the address, and then I wait for them to text me back. Then I ask, does it need any major or minor repairs? But this guy, he didn't answer any of the text messages. He straight up called me. And we was just talking, and he said he wanted 500,000 for the property. And so when he said he needed 500,000 for the property, I was just, while he was talking, I'm on, Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. I pretty much use those three platforms and PropStream to comp the property and, see what's going on, see what sales have happened in the last 6 months, 3 months. I look at pending sales and everything like that as well too. So it was a lot of pending sales at around 500,000. So I'm like, I'm an investor and I work with investors. I mean, how are we gonna make any money if we give you 500,000? We're looking to either flip the property or rent it out. And so he didn't understand that. He said, "Well, this is how he talked. Well, I want what's worth what my property is worth. I want 500,000." I'm like, "Look, man, we can't give you 500, man." And mind you, the property pretty much it needed a full rehab, and it also had a pond on the property that needed to be redone. That didn't cost a lot of money to do the pond, but yeah, I mean, it needed a full cosmetic rehab. The property was in his family for years, so and they never put any work in it. Him and his wife were heavy smokers, and yeah, I'm not gonna say this deal was super easy either. I did run into a lot of bull crap in this deal, but it took me from contract to close. It took the exact 30 days. Like I literally locked the contract up September 10th and closed it on October 10th. So it pretty much closed right on time. And yeah, so with this property, I didn't get it on the contract the first day I talked to him. You know, I told him that when he said he wanted 500,000, I said I could do 250,000. And then he was like, "No, that's too low." So I was like, "Okay, well, I'll follow up with you, follow up with me." And mind you, this was like on a Wednesday maybe. So hung up, and I went about my day and talked to some other leads and stuff. And then it wasn't until Monday of the next week where he called me and say, asked me questions. How soon we're gonna close? How much earnest money can I get? And all this. And I'm told him we could close in about 30 days or less. In some cases, we close in 10 days. It's just every deal is different. Every home purchase is different. As far as the earnest money, we don't ever put that much earnest money up because we're doing high volume deals. The most we put up in earnest money is about $100, and so he didn't like that because he said he talked to his lawyer, and his lawyer said that we should put up at least 1% of what the property is selling for earnest money. And so sometimes, if it's not 10,000, 20,000, I'll go ahead and just do it. Put up the 2,500 in earnest money. So that's what I did. I put up 2,500 in earnest money, got the property under contract for 250,000, and then maybe like the next day, I sent a realtor there because in my contract I had verbiage that would allow me to list it on the market to find retail buyers or cash buyers on the market. Because I never closed a deal in Pensacola, Florida anyway. That's the thing about all these leads. I'm a nationwide wholesaler, so leads are coming from all over the place. Places I've never been to, places I never heard of. I mean, I did hear of Pensacola, Florida, but in other instances, it's, a lot of places I never heard of, rural areas and stuff like that. So I found a realtor in the area. He was cool. He works with wholesalers before. He said he has good experience with working with wholesalers, that he lists the properties on the market and find a retail buyer or a cash buyer. So I was going to look to do a novation on this, but, I knew that I locked it up at half of what it was worth. So I'd rather do an assignment all day long. So I had the realtor go by the property. He was supposed to get pictures from me, but he didn't give me any pictures. He ended up looking at the property for me and, calling me. He called me afterwards and told me, that I got something good there. So that kind of gave me more reassurance, too, that I know that I had a good deal. Sometimes, I'm pretty experienced, but I'm not going to say that I'm, the master at wholesaling. I'm not, every deal is different, like, so sometimes with my comping in different areas, I'm not so sure. So that's good that I had that realtor give me reassurance of, of my comps and telling me that I have something good. So I'm like, cool, let's go. So I didn't end up having a realtor list it. I ended up listing it on Facebook Marketplace. And so one person contacted me on Facebook Marketplace. And she was a realtor slash investor in the Pensacola market. And she wanted the property, but she only wanted to pay, well, she wanted the property. She wanted to go see it the next day. Then I heard back from her. She said she only wanted to pay $200,000 for it. Mind you, I'm under contract for $250,000. And so, you know, this deal was crazy because I had to really sell her on it too. I mean, it was a deal, but I had to sell her on it for sure. And so a couple days go by after she offered the 200,000, and the seller calls me one morning and he says, I want to cancel the contract. Let's cancel the contract. I don't want to do the deal anymore. And I'm like, what do you mean? We're not canceling the contract. I said I could cancel the contract just depending on what's the reason why you want to cancel the contract. And so he kept going on and on saying that, no, just he was lying on reasons why he wanted to cancel the contract. Until I finally got out of him that he wanted to cancel the contract because someone contacted him that wanted to pay more money. And I'm like, no, that is not a reason why you can cancel the contract with me. I'm going to file a memorandum at the courthouse, put a lien on the property. That is not a good enough reason for me to cancel the contract. I might as well not even be under contract with you if you're going to cancel the contract for that reason. You're not going to waste my time here. This is how I make a living. This is how I feed my family. No effing way. So we talked for about an hour, and I told him all money isn't good money. And at this point, I didn't have a buyer either, but I just still knew that I had an awesome deal. So I told him to connect me with the person that offered him more money, and we'll talk. And so the next day, I talked to the girl that offered him. She offered him like 330,000. You know, and so I said, "Are you sure you want to offer that much money without even seeing the property?" She hasn't seen the property yet. And a couple of days before, I did have the seller send me pictures of the property. So then, plus I already had my actual buyer, but she wasn't my buyer yet. But I had her go look at the property too. So I pretty much had an idea what the condition of the property was, and I had the pictures. So I sent her the pictures, and then she texted me back like 10 minutes later saying that she wasn't interested anymore anyway because of the condition of the property. She said she offered him too much. So I was like, all right, cool, yeah, get out of my way here. So then I contacted the seller, and I told him that she's not interested anymore, so you're stuck with me. And then he says okay, and then he goes on to tell me the neighbor wants to buy it for 300,000, which is a lie, because I didn't believe that. So, but either way, even if the neighbor did want to pay 300,000, I got it stuck in his mind that backing out is not a good idea with me, and trying to sell it to somebody else is not a good idea with me. So I got that locked in his head. I got him like really respecting that, and you know, I am pretty good at overcoming objections from sellers, and as you as you go along and do this business, you'll experience stuff. Basically, I'm saying whenever a seller says something, you know exactly what to say. Exactly what to say. To anything that they're saying, you're gonna know what to say. It's just an experience thing. Yeah. So a couple days go by, and I um, I couldn't find a buyer, man. So I ended up contacting a joint venture company, and I'm not gonna go in a, I'm not gonna go far in this story because that kind of went left a little bit. They're supposed to be using a platform. I'm not gonna say the platform because I'm not getting paid or anything. I'm not sponsored by this platform, so I'm not gonna say the name of the platform. But they were supposed to use a platform that I don't have, that they have, that you can find buyers pretty easily. And so I found out that they were daisy chaining my deal on Facebook, and I'm like, I could sell the deal on Facebook myself. So let's just cancel the contract. I don't want to do it anymore. And so they didn't want to cancel the contract. Long story short, I might be going through a lawsuit litigation with them. So I don't want to talk too much about that, but yeah, man, that was bullcrap. That was bullcrap for sure. But so what I did was, this is the clever way that I sold the property to that first lady that contacted me on Facebook Marketplace. So what I did was, I um, I made it pending on Facebook Marketplace. Like I made it pending, like I already had a buyer. And so once she seen that, she messaged me and she said, "Did you sell it already? It's pending. What's going on?" And I say, yeah, I signed it already, and the only thing is the buyer he didn't deposit the earnest money yet, so I'm not sure how serious he is. And then she's going on saying, well, what's the best price you can give me? I'll drop the earnest money immediately if we can agree on a price. So I said, I didn't get greedy. I said 265,000, and then she agreed, and so I sent her the assignment, and then she signed it, and I sent the assignment for October 10th, and yeah, man, she sent the earnest money. And then after that, we pretty much closed, and it was a done deal. But yeah, I just think that was pretty clever the way I sold it to her. Maybe if she didn't have any, if I didn't make it seem like she had competition, which she didn't, because I didn't have another buyer. So if I didn't make it seem like she had competition against the property, then I wouldn't have sold it. So it was just kind of crazy how I sold it. But yeah, I had to think fast on that deal, and every deal is different, like I said. And she bought it; she's happy with it. She's gonna make at least 100,000 on that deal because she bought it for 265. Well, she bought it for 250, paid me a 15K assignment, and the comps are like 500,000. You know what I'm saying? I think it was on an acre or two. It had a pond, but she's gonna rebuild the pond. Like it's one of those houses, a house with a pond on 2 acres. A lot of new built construction nearby, so she's gonna eat good on it. Everybody was happy. The seller was happy. I'm even gonna put up the text messages from the seller right here on the side to showing me that he was grateful that I helped him out of his situation. And that's just what I do, man. I love those messages that I get from sellers after I satisfy our agreements. And yeah, man, that was just a successful deal right there. So yeah, man, look forward to sharing some more deals on here. Let's get it.